Hi, I am Dr. Leah Andrews, and this is Oben, and welcome to Tea with Dr. Leah. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about eating and living with the seasons. In Chinese medicine, it's the most important thing really for us to learn the cycles that happen around us and to adapt to them. That's really the key to increasing our vitality and also living longer, healthier, happier lives in general. So I know this is a little bit late because summer is going to be gone in a few days. Feels like a few days. September 22nd, we're going to move into fall officially, but it's still pretty hot here, and there's a lot of fire energy still going on. So we still have time to take advantage. So summer is about fire. It is about expansion. So the heart chi really wants to expand out. And this is what the earth is doing. So the ancient texts talk about heaven and earth making love and all of this abundance happening around us. There's a lot of nature is in excess. So everything is fruiting and flowering, and the animals are out and more active. And so we really wanted to mimic that behavior ourselves if we wanted to take full advantage of the season to make ourselves healthier. So this is a great opportunity, specifically if you have stagnation issues, either phlegm, damp stagnation, or blood stagnation, to really knock that out and move it. It's also really good if you have yang deficiency and you want to heat up and move things in the body. Summertime is a great time to balance those issues. It is a little bit more challenging if you are yin or fluid deficient, or if you have excess heat already in the body. You're going to need to take a little extra precautions during this time to make sure your condition doesn't get worse. So in general, for everybody, in the summertime, you want to go to bed later, you want to wake up earlier, you want to have a little bit of excess in your life. So this is the time to kind of push it too hard, play a little too hard. Maybe like if you want to step up your workouts and do some more extreme stuff, this is the season to do it. Also, if you want to, party a little bit, maybe drink a little excessively, you can get away with it now. Like this is the time to do it. You can eat a little too much, all of those things. Have a little bit, kind of push the boundaries a little bit more than you would. This is not the time for good behavior. That comes next season in autumn when we have to be all moderate. So have fun now while you can. And so in terms of foods, more cooling foods are really good to balance out the heat that is all around us. Now that is a little bit different in Chinese terms than it is in Western terms. So the Chinese are very against having iced drinks, ice cream, things like that, because it doesn't matter what the weather's like, those things are going to impede and cool off digestion. And so unless you have a lot of excess heat where you can handle that, most people shouldn't be having a lot of ice cold drinks and ice creams and things like that, even though it seems like the natural thing to do. Instead, what you want to do is have cooling natured foods, things like mung beans or watermelon. A lot of fruits are cold. A lot of salads and things like that, those are cold natured, but they don't have to be cold temperatured in order to balance us out. Also things like cooling teas, like for example, I made some mint and green tea. Mint is wonderful to disperse stagnancies in the body and also cool off the body. So it's doubly good for the summertime. It also helps if you're coming down with a cold right in the beginning to help push out pathogens. Really good for this time of year. Green tea is the most cooling form of tea, so it's really great for the summertime, and it tastes really good. It's really refreshing. So even if it's hot tea, it's still going to cool off the body in terms of its actions. Also, in terms of cooking, you want to have a wide variety of foods and colors and fragrances. And when you prepare, you want it to prepare it more kind of extravagantly. So think about the fire element. The fire loves color, loves fun, little whimsy. those types of things. And I have pictures of summer foods on my Pinterest if you want to take a look at Leah Andrews, Dr. Leah Andrews. But to give you more inspiration, but you want to typically steam and saute foods and put more fluids in to your foods to help with fluid loss that tends to happen when it's hot outside and you're sweating more and that type of thing. And you also want to stimulate the senses more, a little bit of pungency and spiciness in foods. Think about a lot of the tropical kinds of foods like that you have in Southeast Asia or in Latin America. There's that spicy pungency, and you wonder, like, why do you have that when you have hot weather? It actually helps to move out the stagnancies that tend to accumulate when you have hot, humid weather. So it actually helps to balance out the body. Now, if you have yin deficiency, you're going to have to be more careful. So you want to make sure that you're really hydrating with fluids and also hydrating with electrolytes. Because if you're just drinking water and not replenishing your minerals and your essential nutrients, then it's not going to help you. A lot of fruits are perfectly balanced for that. So things like peaches, goji berries are amazing for yin deficiency in general. Another wonderful yin deficiency food is sesame seeds, black sesame seeds. Shenyao is another wonderful. It's harder to get unless you're buying Asian market, but that's one of the best yin deficiency foods on the planet. It is shenyao is a Chinese yam. It's very mild in flavor, but it has this kind of same kind of consistency that okra does. It has that kind of, I know it doesn't sound very appetizing, but that kind of slimy kind of texture, but that stickiness really hydrates the body and helps to plump up the skin. So the effects are really, really nice. If you have heat, also this time of year can be a challenge, but people with excess heat can really get away with more. Things like watermelon, which is really, really cold in nature, people who have excess heat can get away with eating watermelon. It's actually really good for them to kind of cool off and cleanse that excess heat, that excess inflammation. I should explain a little bit for people who are not familiar what these terms mean. Yin deficiency, if you have yin deficiency, you're going to tend to be drier and run hotter. So women tend to get more yin deficient as we get older and our hormones start to decline. So the skin gets thinner, there's more wrinkling, there's more general dryness in the body. So things like hot flashes and night sweats and difficulty falling asleep at night, agitation, those are all yin deficiency types of signs. And we definitely don't want to exacerbate them. So especially as women are, going through menopause or postpartum or times when, we tend to be more yin deficient, you want to be really careful during the summer to replenish fluids in the body to avoid all of those symptoms. Excess heat is going to be classic inflammatory conditions, things where you have a lot of redness, stiffness, agitation, anger, irritability, just feeling really hot, acid reflux. These are some of the signs of heat in the body. You definitely want to take advantage of cooling foods. Things like mung beans are excellent because it helps to cool off the body and it also doesn't hurt digestion. So it's really a great detox for the body during the summer months, pretty much for anybody except for someone who's yin deficient. The other the groups that actually benefit tremendously from summer are people who have stagnations in the body. So dampness, stagnation, dampness. One way of looking at it, there tends to be accumulation of fluids, can be a tendency to be overweight. So this is a great time for weight loss, taking advantage of that summer energy and movement to lose weight. You want to have more pungent types of foods. So things like ginger and scallions and spices. You don't want to overdo the spices, but a little bit of like peppers and a lot of these kind of Southeast Asian and South American flavors to kind of move and disperse things out of the body. Things like orange peel. And you want to really be careful of having cold, like ice cold drinks and too many fruits and things like that are more going to build fluids and cool off the body, those are going to lock that dampness in, and it's going to really block weight loss. The other thing too is if you have blood stagnation, so blood stagnation would be a lot of cases of people with old injuries. As we get older, or if we've had injuries, blood flow tends to get impeded. With blocked emotions, the blood flow can get impeded. So having things like eggplant, the pungent foods that are good for dampness help as well. Things like ginger and spices and peppers, things like that really help to move that blood flow in the body, and taking advantage of that movement and that heat coming in from the environment really can have great results at this time of year. And then if you're young deficient, which means you tend to run cold, there's a lot of cold issues in the body, there might be infertility issues, this is a great time to really build up that heat and that internal furnace in the body. So you want to have things like warm soups and teas, avoiding the salads, avoiding the watermelon, having things that are going to help stimulate and move things in the body. That's really going to be helpful at this time of year to balance yang deficiency. So you see how you can utilize the time of the year to either mitigate any injuries to the body, but also take advantage of those opportunities to balance out any imbalances in the body. And that's really what is brilliant about Chinese medicine. Even though I love the acupuncture and the herbs and all of those things and the meditations, it's that fundamental idea that we are observing our environment and utilizing the normal natural changes to fix and balance ourselves out. I mean, that's really what I think is brilliant about Chinese medicine. For the meditation today, I'm not really sure what we should do, because really you should be outdoors and enjoying life. So why don't we do a heart meditation, because it's all about the heart at this, or actually, why don't we do something, because this is the time for love and expansion, about clearing any kind of cording that may be over, and you want to get rid of maybe old lovers or old people that are no longer positive relationships, or they're not in your life anymore, but they're kind of tugging at you. And a lot of times it means there's some energetic cording going on. So in the summertime, you want to have like a fresh start and be out there. We want to clear all of that old cobwebby stuff out of our system. So go ahead and close your eyes and just sit or lie in a relaxed position. Just inhaling and exhaling, relaxing the lower abdomen, allowing it to expand and relax with every inhale and exhale, allowing that breath to get into the body. Controlling our breath is our access point to our subconscious, to the deeper parts of our psyche. So we always want to start off with relaxing and controlling the breath. And just scan your body from the very top of your head. Scan your heart space, your solar plexus, especially around your ovaries or your womb or your genital region, because that's where especially old lovers tend to get hooked in. Notice if there's any foreign energies, any emotions that are kind of tugging at you that you want to kind of let go of. Any people that you just can't seem to get to let go of. Even though you want them out of your life, they keep kind of pulling you back. Usually that means they've hooked in energetically. So it's time to let those people go. So if you find any of that foreign energy in your space, just gently focus in on it. Don't panic, we're going to let it go. As soon as you become aware of it, you have 100% choice to let go of cording. So just imagine taking a sword of light and just cutting any cords that are connecting you to past relationships or people that you no longer want to connect with, or you just want to disconnect that unhealthy connection and reestablish a new, healthier connection. So go ahead and cut those cords. And imagine just giving them all their energy back in love and peace. And with finality. And go ahead and pull in all of your energy back. You always want to make sure that your space just has you. This is your private space, and no one has permission to invade your space, especially unconsciously, without your conscious awareness. That's creepy, it's not nice. So you have every right to unhook from that energy. And go ahead and send a grounding cord from the bottoms of your feet down to the very center of the earth, setting it on release. Go ahead and ground your energetic bodies, letting go of any residue from those connections. Sometimes those negative or painful or unconscious connections keep us from expanding and allowing us to really flow and expand into the summer energy. So we want to really let those go so that we are free to establish new connections. Now go ahead and drop into your heart space. Ground out your heart. Ground out the pericardium, which is the protective wall around your heart space. And feel the light and the love and the consciousness that is present here. It is through our heart space that we are aware, that we are conscious, that we are connected to our spirit and our soul. This is the seat of our awareness. And it is the love that we have here that allows us to heal everything. So go ahead and imagine that loving light from your heart space, reaching out in all directions, illuminating every cell in your body. Feel the forgiveness, the freedom, the expansion, the healing, the peace in every cell of your body. And as your heart continues to radiate outward, imagine that love connecting to the people around you, all people, the four-leggeds, the two-leggeds, the plant kingdom. expanding out to the planet, flooding the planet with love and peace and freedom and expansion and healing and abundance. This is the space where miracles happen. And we all have that ability. When you're able to feel that peace, feel gratitude for yourself and for all the loving people on this planet. And go ahead and open your eyes and go out and enjoy this beautiful summer day and connect. Thank you for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful day.